Everyone wants to scale ads like they're printing money, but most businesses honestly burn through their cash without any real strategy. They, I guess, are just thinking, hey, let's spend some more and then hopefully we'll make some more, right? But their return on ad spend basically just tanks. If you've ever tried scaling paid ads or just ran an ad in general and watched all of your, cost per acquisitions or, the amount you spend to just get one customer or client skyrocket, I get it. I've been there plenty of times. I've been in the paid media space for the last 4 years at a well-known tech company in California. And in this video, I'll just break down, the exact systems that we use and other businesses and brands in our industry use to do 600K to 10 million per year without wasting any of our money or ad spend. And you might be thinking, but wait, isn't running ads pretty simple? Aren't you just supposed to set a budget and just let them run that way? No, in my experience, that's probably a bad idea unless you want to kind of waste your time and your money too. Nowadays, scaling ads is an art and a science, and I'm here to show you how to do it the right way. So the biggest mistake that I see businesses make nowadays, especially, smaller startups and personal brands, is that they blindly increase their ad spend without really having, a plan in place first. And when they do that, typically, these three things happen. Usually they have what's called ad fatigue, which is basically, when people see the same ad too many times and then they start to ignore it. Like, I don't know if you ever, been scrolling Twitter or X, and saw that the same ad 6 or 7 times and wondering like, bro, why do I keep seeing this same ad? So you click the three little dots at the top right corner and choose not interested in this ad, or why am I seeing this ad? It's basically that, basically they fatigued you with showing this ad too much and too consistently, and people can control that. Like, you can control how much you show people your ads, so that basically doesn't happen. Most people don't know this, but it's called frequency caps. Like, especially if you're using platforms like Facebook or Twitter X ads, you can set frequency caps to limit how many times like a user sees your ad within a specific time frame. In my opinion, it was pretty critical for like our major campaigns. So I would test it and, use it to test some of your ads in your audiences. Number two, that they start, having lower quality audiences. So ad platforms start serving your ads to people who are less likely to buy, which that's obviously not your target audience. And then third is higher ad costs. So your CPC, or cost per click, and CAC, or customer acquisition costs, go up and your profitability goes down. It's kind of that simple, really. But why do people do it? Or how do you scale without killing, your returns? That's what we'll dive into next. All right, scaling ads profitably comes down to three key factors: lowering customer acquisition costs, so your CAC, which we talked about how it goes up; increasing average order value, or AOV, which we'll discuss how you can, do that for your brand; and maximizing lifetime value, LTV. So people don't just buy from you once and then like they never buy from you again. Unless of course your products are not that great, in which case, if you're hearing this right now as I'm speaking about it out loud, and you're saying that's maybe you should probably just, work on making your product or service a little bit better, before trying to throw ad money at it. But again, that's just more of my opinion than anything. But back to the three key factors to make you more money off of your ads. Again, lowering your customer acquisition costs, or CAC, should be first, in my opinion, because essentially, in my experience as a media buyer, managing, hundreds of thousands of dollars in ad spend for tech companies and brands and consulting businesses for the last couple of years, the easiest way to do this is to improve your ad creative and your targeting audiences. If you can, test your ads first in front of your like ideal target audiences and send your ads, through more eyes and ears before publishing them and setting them live, just to get as much feedback as possible. This really helps you find your final ad creative to feel more niche down and specific to who you'd like to put, your ad in front of. And if these concepts are kind of flying over your head, I'm sorry, I apologize. I can explain this process more detailed in another video, or maybe like and subscribe on this video if you're finding value. That way I know for sure that you guys would like another video kind of showing you some of the basics. But yeah, comment down below if you want me to, make a beginner friendly video on how to manage your social media ad campaign on your platform of choice, whether that's Google ads, Meta, which is Facebook and Instagram ads, TikTok, X, or Twitter, which I still call it. And I have experience in unconventional type social media platforms like Tumblr and Snapchat, because they're the few of many platforms that allow for cannabis related advertising. So pretty much everywhere else is still prohibited because cannabis is still federally illegal, but those particular platforms do allow. But the next thing I'd recommend to lower your customer acquisition costs is to retarget any website visitors and past customers that you've had. Make sure you're retargeting them. Setting up a retargeting campaign for anyone who visits your website or clicks on one of your links or purchases product or service from you is basically a warm lead. It's like leaving money on the table if you don't help yourself to basically put another ad in front of them at the very least, so that they can at least think about buying from you, the first or the second time. And lastly, just use like real proof if you have it. Honestly, like testimonials go a long way. People from, actual customers that you've had, user generated content, that's very popular nowadays. People love reading reviews and, they want to see if others had success before them. That might make up their mind, that might help them make their decision. Like for me, I was looking for a new water filter the other day, and I took like 45 minutes reading the reviews on an ad or on an Amazon product listing to see what people are saying about it. And a lot of people were like, don't get this one. So what did I do? I didn't get it. That it was pretty much that simple. Here's an example of a retargeting setup in an ad manager campaign that we are currently running, and it's doing pretty well. Obviously, a lot of it is A to B testing. So we'll test something to see if it's, how well it does. If it doesn't do so well, we'll try something new, or we'll go back to the drawing board and, kind of tweak some things and set it live again. The next key factor in scaling ads is to increase your average order value, or AOV. So this is also pretty straightforward in my opinion. But if you can do the following, you should, like right away, which is to essentially bundle any products or services together that make sense. So not just any two things, but bundle things that, make sense together. And then you also want to upsell and cross-sell. Meaning if you own an apparel company, for example, and your best-selling items are hoodies, but you can't seem to sell any t-shirts, maybe for each hoodie you sell, give the customer the chance to purchase a tee for 50% off after, the point of sale. Or if you're selling hoodies, maybe also sell a beanie that matches for only an additional $20 or something like that. And if you can, offer payment plans for higher ticket items, especially nowadays, because, people are looking for a deal, they're looking for a sale, and they're more inclined to purchase, even higher ticket products if they can pay over time. Like those buy now, pay later programs like Klarna, Afterpay, Affirm, there's a bunch of them nowadays. They're all the same, but they work. That's why there's a lot of them. And once you lower your customer acquisition costs and increase your average order value, you'll then want to boost your lifetime value. So your LTVs are pretty important, but the best ways to do this, in my opinion, are to introduce subscriptions or, repeat purchase incentives. So the subscription model really took off, with like Netflix and Spotify in the early 2000s. And, though everyone doesn't love monthly or, like yearly subscriptions, we all have them, right? And then just focus on customer retention after that. Retention and engagement with the people, who are interested in what you're selling. Don't worry necessarily too much about engaging people who aren't your target audience, right? Just give value to those who are your target audience and focus on them. This is how you turn, those one-time buyers into lifelong customers. Now, choosing the right ad platform is key. I mentioned, a few earlier, but here's the thing. Not every industry can advertise on every platform. For example, like trying to run cannabis ads on Facebook right now will probably and most likely get your account flagged and or suspended. So be careful about that. But for the most part, Facebook and Instagram, or Meta, is best for local businesses and, broad audiences. Also for old people. Yes, they've been on Facebook for a while now, but they're also on Instagram too. Google search and YouTube. So Google and YouTube are like great for high intent buyers, like searching for a solution, right? Because usually buyers are looking at how to fix, a problem or, a question that they have. That's the audience that you'll find on Google and YouTube. TikTok ads, they're also super powerful for like e-commerce and impulse buyers. Unfortunately, they cater to, the younger crowd who have access to, mom's credit card, but it works. TikTok works. And Google Display Network, or GDN, that can be perfect for like retargeting. And if your industry isn't allowed on these platforms like mine, you can still run like compliant ads through like educational content, referral funnels, programmatic, and some display and native advertising. Now, transitioning to your ad itself, the first 3 seconds of your ad are the most important. So you gotta have a hook. Make sure that you start with a hook that grabs the viewer's attention. Like show proof, again, real results, testimonials, real numbers, data that shows legitimacy, right? You wanna back things up and have a clear call to action on all of your ads. I know that sounds simple, but people don't do it. So there you go. That's a golden nugget. Here's a few examples of winning ads, with ad copy, hooks, proven messaging, and strong CTAs that we've been running for the past couple of months that are working really well for us. I strongly advise that people, again, test what works, test what doesn't, and then, come up with a conclusion from there. And don't waste time making new ads from scratch. Like reskin your winning ads. If you have an ad that you previously ran, that did pretty well, don't try to reinvent the wheel. Just change the colors, change the fonts, maybe put a different image there, a different headline, different CTA, anything, and then just test those small tweaks. And if you want to know the smartest way to scale, ads in general, it's got to be the 70-20-10 rule, as Alex Hormozi puts it. 70% of your budget goes to your best performing ads. 20% goes to those, small tweaks I just mentioned. So your headlines, your visuals, your hooks, that sort of thing. And then the 10% is for any new experimental ads. This keeps your business profitable while testing new angles. Look, I've said it a few times throughout this video, but I think it's really important to reiterate that paid ads won't fix a product that's bad or a product that's broken or, a service or business that's not great. But if you have a great offer and a smart strategy, ads can take your business to the next level. If you found this video helpful, hit like and subscribe and drop any questions in the comments below and I'll be sure to get to them. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.